I'm on Starbucks duty. I had to make a run to Starbucks on Christmas Day for my wife. So the Starbucks by our house down the street is not open. I got to go to the one up by the mall, 10 minutes away. So I am going to do some burns while I'm in the drive-thru in this excessively slow drive-thru here on Starbucks. No complaints. It's open. Take your time. We'll start with Harry's burn. Almost there, boss. I haven't caught him training yet, but I've seen him a number of times on the track jogging. He looks really good. I know Harry's probably trained him a little bit, but he looks really good on the track. Now, when he did come back in, you could tell, we'd taken those OCDs out of his hind ankles. His feet were still a little pinchy. His knees were probably, starting to fill in nicely and cool down. And the difference between the first time I saw him maybe a month ago and now is quite a bit. He looks really, really good now. So almost there, boss, going along nicely. Arches Rainbow, I sent a video out to everybody the other day. I was going to post it just to our clients, but it was rather informative, so I posted it to everybody. We're going to need a little time. This is going to cut into some of her 3-year-old time, but this is a filly I just believe is worth doing it right on. And when it came, well, all of our horses are worth doing it right on, but what I mean is, if the vet had done the tie back on that filly the other day, it would have been fine. It wouldn't have said a word. But Natalie, is very meticulous also, and she believes that this is not, from what she can see, she believes there's still a little infection in that arytenoid, which is causing swelling and causing that laxity on the side. I don't want to get the wrong side. I think it's the left side of her throat. We were going to tie that back. She said, Anthony, please just wait 3 weeks. She goes, I really believe that it's just a matter of getting through. She said some of that infection gets walled off deep inside there, and then as soon as you cause any swelling in there, it's going to slow everything down. So just wait 3 weeks. So that's 3-4 weeks. So that's what we're going to do. It is pushing our timelines away, but at the same time, this is a talented filly. I like her. I think she's got a lot to offer, and this is a very tricky situation, right? You don't want to do something so invasive when you may not need it. So I'm gonna defer and trust the judgment of a surgeon that I know is a great surgeon. So we're gonna follow Natalie's lead on this. She needs 3-4 more weeks of working on that with antibiotics and throat spray. She believes she'll look better. So we'll see. Better Be Sawyer is getting really close to going to Mohawk, I think. I saw Harry train her a couple of times over the last 10 days, and she looked very strong. So I suspect when he's comfortable really pushing down and dropping the hammer on her, that she'll go over to Mohawk, but I'd say she's probably pretty close. Brave World, we gave him a month off. I got parked with him his last start. Now, I know he never races that well. He's a smart old horse. When he gets parked, he just shells. He just goes into a turtle shell, and then he doesn't race very good, right? He's not going to grind away on the outside and grind and keep coming. You give him a trip, he'll win. You hurt him and rough him up like I did his last start, he's just going to wall himself off. But I think a lot of that was attributed to 31 starts or something he had this year. So we gave him a month off. Century Invictus, I saw him on the track yesterday. He's growing quite a bit and looks really good on the track. Don't believe me, just watch. We turned it the same week as Brave World. We'll probably bring them back in at the same time. Locatelli drew the 8-hole and is in tougher on Monday, and Harry was a little pouty about that. And I said, listen, when I got to drive him, he was down in class. I said, we didn't capitalize. We didn't get away well from the rail. That's on me. I said, but from the 8-hole, with that staggered gait, I think James is going to get him away well, and I don't think he's outmatched. I know that the Spartan horse is a nice horse at Chris's, but it's not like he's a layover. It's not like he just trounced us. I think Locatelli gets saddled up in behind him or gets away on the front end. He'll give them all they want. He's a nice horse. I think he's proven that. Miss Sophia Rose is training back now. I don't know how much he's been with her. I saw her train once or twice. I thought she looked good. No Free Lunch looks really, really good on the track. He's kind of like Better Be Sawyer. He's really close to going over the track and being cut loose. Silent Assassin, you can see how green she is in the sets, but she trots beautifully. She's going to be a nice trotter. I don't know how Harry wants to combat the snakiness of her, whether, there's a couple of horses. We have one in the top barn, Twin Cedars All-Stars, the same way. Looks at everything. Now, do we really want to go to a telescope bridle? I don't. But we'll see. I mean, we have a lot of tools at our disposal to combat that. First and foremost, experience. So, Silent Assassin trots nice, looks good on the track at a beautiful gait. Just need her to focus. Tioga Sunshine is back in now and looks good. Just the first preliminary days of her jogging back, she looked good on the track. Twinkle in her eye. Harry's been training her a couple of times free-legged. She looks good on the track. I know why he's training her free-legged, because she can be a little pouty herself. But she's ascending, descending, however you want to look at it, towards the races. Been trained a few times now. I suspect, knowing how Harry trains him down, and end of January, I think, February maybe. Twinkle in her eye will be ready. There's no real rush. I really don't think she needs to be ready until really the end of February. We don't want to put a ton of starts into these horses before the stake season starts. I don't think there's a real rush. So whenever she's ready, she's ready. So that's Harry's barn. I'll be back in a minute. I was going to talk about the small barns, but we really only have Jim King and Jazzy Judy. So I'll talk about them somehow in just a minute. But that is Harry Poulton's barn. Merry Christmas, everyone.